Hey, welcome to Chat Easy.
Yeah, English without the stress.
I'm so tired today. I didn't have breakfast this morning. I just had coffee, and now I feel really weak.
Oh no! I have the same problem sometimes. I skip breakfast and then I feel terrible by lunch. Wait, did you notice? We just used the word have like 5 times.
Oh, wow, you're right. I didn't even think about it. I didn't have breakfast. I have the same problem. We use it for everything. It's crazy how one small word appears so many times in normal conversation.
Exactly. Last week, my friend told me she gets confused about when to say have and when to say has. She always stops and thinks about it. It made me realize how automatic it is for some people, but for others, it feels really tricky.
Yes, even simple words can feel confusing when you're trying to use them correctly. And have is everywhere. We use it for breakfast, for problems, for plans, for feelings. It's one of the most important words in English, honestly.
So maybe we should talk about it today? Walk through it together, step by step? What do you think?
I love that idea. And by the end, everyone watching will feel so much more confident using have naturally in their daily conversations. Let's do it. So, what did you have for breakfast today? You said you actually ate something, right?
Yes, I had toast with honey and some fresh fruit. It was simple, but it tasted really good. I felt happy after eating. What about you? You said you only had coffee.
Yeah, I usually have coffee first thing in the morning, but today I had no time at all. I woke up late, grabbed my bag, and just ran out the door. Now I regret it because I feel so hungry.
I know that feeling. Morning routines are so important. When I have enough time in the morning, my whole day feels different. I feel calm and ready. But when I rush, everything feels messy and stressful.
Exactly. I have a bad habit, though. I check my phone too much in the morning. I look at messages, scroll through videos, and suddenly 20 minutes disappear. That's why I never have enough time.
Oh no, I have the same problem. I tell myself I'll just check one thing, but then I keep scrolling. It steals my time every single morning.
Wait, we're doing it again. Listen to us. I have a habit. I have the same problem. I have enough time. We keep using have for everything without even thinking about it.
You're right. We use have when we talk about possessions like I have a phone. We use it for routines like I have breakfast. We use it for experiences like I have a problem. And we even use it for obligations like I have to go now.
Wow, why does one small word do so many different jobs? That's actually kind of amazing when you think about it.
Maybe that's exactly why it confuses learners sometimes. It appears everywhere, but the meaning changes depending on the situation.
True. I remember my cousin once asked me, do I say I have or I has? I had to stop and explain the grammar rule to her. It felt so automatic to me, but for her it was something she had to think about carefully every time.
That's so relatable. It feels natural now, but when you're learning, you have to be really careful. So let me ask you something. Have you ever felt confused about when to use have or has? Drop a comment and tell us your biggest question. We'd love to hear from you.
Yes, please share. Everyone goes through this. There's no wrong question, and we're all learning together. Okay, so let's start with the most common way people use have. It's for talking about things you own or possess, like I have a car, she has a cat, or they have 2 children. Simple, right?
Yes, exactly. And you can also use have for relationships, like I have a brother or he has many friends. It shows connection or possession in a really natural way. But here's the thing. Even though this feels simple, learners sometimes forget that have changes to has when you talk about he, she, or it.
Right. So it's I have, you have, we have, they have. But then it switches to he has, she has, it has. This is one of those grammar points that becomes automatic over time, but at first you really have to pay attention to it.
I once heard someone say he have by mistake. It sounded so unusual to me because I'm so used to hearing has. My brain almost stopped for a second, but I understood what they meant, and that's the most important part.
Totally. Now, let's talk about another big way people use have. It's for talking about experiences. You use have with past participles to describe things you've done in your life. Does that make sense?
Can you give me an example? I want to make sure everyone follows.
Sure, like I have visited Paris, she has tried sushi, or we have seen that movie. You're connecting something from the past to now. It's part of your life story.
Oh, I love that explanation. This structure is called the present perfect tense, and it's super useful because it connects the past to the present moment. It's not just about what happened, it's about how that experience lives with you now.
Exactly. Like when I tell someone I have been to Japan, it means that experience is part of my life story now, even if the trip happened 5 years ago. It's still with me. It shaped me somehow.
That's beautiful. Learners sometimes mix this up with simple past tense, though, like they're not sure when to say I visited versus I have visited. And honestly, both are correct, but they carry slightly different feelings.
Yeah. If I say I visited Japan last year, I'm focusing on the specific time. It's like telling a story with a clear moment. But if I say I have visited Japan, I'm focusing on the experience itself, without emphasizing when. It's more about the fact that it happened, not the date.
That makes so much sense. Okay, now let me bring up another way people use have. It's for talking about routines and habits, like I have breakfast at 8. He has a meeting every Monday, or we have dinner together on Fridays.
Yes, this usage shows regular activities or repeated events. And here's something interesting. Sometimes learners want to say, I do breakfast, or I make breakfast. But in English, I have breakfast is the natural phrase. Language doesn't always follow logic, you know. You just have to learn what sounds right.
So true. And have is also used with drinks, like I have coffee in the morning, or she has tea in the afternoon. It feels some normal to say it that way.
Exactly. Now, you could also say, I drink coffee, and that's correct too, but have coffee feels a bit softer and more casual. It's like you're describing a moment, not just the action of drinking.
I never thought about it like that, but you're right. It's softer, more about the experience.
Okay, here's another one. Have you ever noticed how have is used to talk about obligations or things you need to do?
Oh, yes. Like, I have to go to work, or she has to finish her homework. Have to expresses necessity or responsibility. It's something you can't skip or avoid.
Right, like we have to leave soon because the bus is coming. You don't really have a choice, you just have to do it. And this is different from must, which sounds stronger or more formal.
Good point. If I say I must finish this, it feels more serious than I have to finish this, even though they mean similar things. Must sounds a bit dramatic almost.
Yes, like you're making a declaration, but have to is more common in everyday conversation. You hear it all the time, so learners should focus on have to first, because they'll hear it constantly.
Absolutely. Now, let me mention another interesting use of have. You can use it to talk about physical states or feelings, like I have a headache, or he has a cold, or they have a lot of energy.
Oh yes, and you can also say I have a question, she has an idea, or we have a problem. Have is like a Swiss Army knife. It works in so many situations.
That's such a perfect way to describe it. It's probably why it's one of the first words people learn, but also one that takes time to master completely. Some languages don't use have the same way, so learners have to adjust their thinking.
True. Some languages, people might say, to me is a headache, instead of I have a headache. That shows how translation doesn't always work directly. You can't just swap words. You have to learn how English speakers actually think and talk.
Exactly. It's about patterns, not just vocabulary.
Okay, here's a small grammar detail that sometimes confuses people. Sometimes in questions, have often moves to the front or uses do as a helper. Does that sound familiar?
Can you give me examples? I want to make sure we're clear.
Sure, like do you have a pen or does she have any siblings? You're using do or does to form the question. It's a very common structure.
Right. Now, in British English, some people say, have you a pen? But in American English, do you have a pen is much more common. Learners should probably focus on the do and does structure because it's more universal. Agreed. And in negative sentences, you say I do not have or I don't have, and she does not have or she doesn't have. Saying I have not sounds very formal or old-fashioned in modern conversation. You might hear it in a movie set in the past, but not in daily life. Yes, it sounds like something from a historical drama. So, Blake, do you think learners should worry about all these details right away? Probably not. I think it's better to start with the basics and let the rest come naturally over time. Like focus first on possession, I have a book, and routines, I have lunch at noon. Get comfortable with those first, I agree. Once those feel comfortable, learners can explore present perfect tense and other advanced uses. There's no rush. The key is to listen and notice how native speakers use have in different contexts. Exactly. Watching shows, listening to podcasts, or reading simple articles can help you see patterns. You start to feel what sounds right instead of just memorizing rules. And making mistakes is totally normal. It's actually helpful because it's part of the learning process. Every mistake teaches you something. Yes, don't be afraid to try. The more you use have in real conversations, the more natural it becomes. So let me ask you something. When you use have in a sentence, do you feel confident or do you stop and think about the grammar first? Drop a comment and let us know. We'd love to hear from you, and it's totally okay to think. It shows you care about getting it right. We all go through that stage, so share your thoughts with us. Everyone's experience is different, and hearing from others can be really encouraging. We're all in this together. Okay, so we've talked about a lot today. Maybe we should quickly go over some useful words and phrases that came up while we were talking. What do you think? I love that idea. It might help to see everything in one place with simple explanations. Let's do it. Perfect. So the first key term is possess. This means to own or have something. For example, I possess a car means I have a car. It's just a fancier way to say it, right? But possess sounds more formal. In daily conversation, people usually just say have. You won't hear someone say, I possess coffee at breakfast. That would sound really strange. True. Okay, next one. The next term is present perfect. This is a grammar structure used to talk about experiences or actions that happened at an unspecified time in the past. An example sentence is, I have finished my work. You're not saying when you finished, just that it's done now. Yes, learners will hear this a lot once they start paying attention to it. It's everywhere in English conversations. Absolutely. Okay, what's next?
Let's talk about obligation. This means something you must do or are required to do. Like, I have an obligation to help my family. It's something you feel responsible for. It's not just a choice, it's something important that you need to do.
Good one. And another way to express obligation is using have to, like, I have to wake up early tomorrow. It shows you don't really have a choice, you just have to do it.
Exactly. Okay, your turn.
The next term is routine. This refers to activities you do regularly, often at the same time or in the same way. For example, my morning routine includes having coffee and reading the news. It's the pattern you follow every day.
I love routines. They help structure your day and make life feel more organized. Without my morning routine, I feel lost.
Same. Okay, next word.
Let's talk about necessity. This means something that is needed or essential, like sleep is a necessity for good health. You can't skip it. Your body needs it to function properly.
Right. And when you say, I have to do something, you're expressing necessity. It's not optional, it's required.
Exactly. Okay, what about past participle?
Oh, good one. A past participle is a verb form used in perfect tenses. For regular verbs, you add ed, like talked or visited. But irregular verbs have special forms, like seen, eaten, or been. An example sentence is, I have seen that movie before.
Yes. Learning irregular past participles takes practice, but they become automatic over time. At first, you have to memorize them, but then they just feel natural.
So true. Okay, next term.
Let's talk about helper verb. This is also called an auxiliary verb. These verbs work with main verbs to form questions, negatives, or tenses. In the sentence, do you have a pen? The word do is a helper verb. It helps form the question.
Great explanation. And have itself can also be a helper verb in sentences like, I have finished. It's helping to create the present perfect tense.
Exactly. Okay, what's next?
The word emphasis. This means giving special importance or attention to something. For example, I really have to go now uses really to add emphasis. It shows you're serious or feel strongly about something.
Yes, emphasis helps show how strongly you feel about something. It adds emotion to your words.
Definitely. Okay, next one.
Let's talk about automatic. This means something you do without thinking or that happens naturally, like using has with she feels automatic to me now. I don't have to stop and think about it anymore. My brain just knows.
I love that. And with enough practice, grammar becomes automatic for learners too. It just takes time and repetition.
Exactly. Okay, what about structure?
Good one. Structure refers to the way something is organized or built. In grammar, sentence structure means the order and pattern of words. An example is, the structure of present perfect is have plus past participle. It's the framework you follow.
Yes. Understanding structure helps you build correct sentences. It's like having a blueprint. Perfect analogy. Okay, last one. Let's finish with context. This means the situation or background information that helps you understand something. Like, the meaning of have depends on the context of the sentence. The same word can mean different things in different situations. Exactly. Context is everything in language learning. You can't just memorize words. You have to understand how they're used in real life. So true. These terms are tools that help you think about and discuss language. But you don't need to memorize definitions. Just notice these words when they appear in conversation or reading. Perfect advice. The more you notice them, the more natural they become. Okay, let's imagine some real situations. Picture this. You're meeting a new neighbor for the first time. You might ask, do you have any pets? Or do you have family living nearby? Simple questions, but they open up the conversation. I love those questions. They're perfect for friendly conversation because they're open and easy to answer. You're not putting pressure on anyone, you're just showing interest. Exactly. And when you ask someone, do you have hobbies, you're inviting them to share something personal, which helps build connection. It's like saying, I want to know you better. That's beautiful. And knowing how to use have in questions makes social situations feel less scary. You don't have to search for the right words, they just come naturally. Yes. Okay, here's another situation. Ordering food at a cafe. Oh, I love this one. You might ask, do you have any vegetarian options? Or say, I'll have a cappuccino, please. It's so simple, but it gets you exactly what you need. I'll have is such a useful phrase when ordering. It's polite and clear. Sometimes learners say, I want instead, which isn't wrong, but I'll have sounds a bit softer. It feels more natural. Absolutely. Small word choices like this can make you sound more natural and confident. And confidence changes everything. It makes the whole experience more enjoyable. So true. Now let's talk about workplace scenarios. You might hear someone say, I have a meeting at 3, or do you have time to review this document? Have appears constantly in professional settings because people are always talking about schedules, responsibilities, and resources. Yes, and here's another example. We have a deadline on Friday. That expresses an obligation without sounding harsh. It's just a fact, calmly stated. Exactly. Being able to use have correctly at work helps you communicate clearly and avoid misunderstandings. It makes you sound organized and professional. Definitely. Now, let me ask you something. What about personal reflection moments, like when you're talking to yourself in your head or writing in a journal?
Oh, that's interesting. You might write, I have so many things to be grateful for, or I have a decision to make. Using have helps you name your thoughts and feelings, which can be really grounding.
I love that. It organizes your inner world. And even silent self-talk in English is good practice.
So true. Okay, here's another relatable situation. Talking with friends about plans. Someone might text, do you have any plans this weekend? And you could reply, I have a family dinner on Saturday.
Yes, these small exchanges happen all the time, and being comfortable with have makes texting and chatting feel effortless. You don't have to pause and second-guess yourself.
Exactly. Fluency isn't about perfect grammar. It's about being able to express yourself without overthinking every word. It's about feeling free to communicate.
That's such a good point. Freedom is the goal, not perfection.
Yes. So, to everyone watching, imagine yourself in one of these situations. Notice where have would naturally fit. Which scenario feels most relevant to your life right now?
Maybe you're preparing for travel, or starting a new job, or making new friends. Everyone's needs are different, and that's completely okay.
Exactly. Whether you're preparing for travel, work, friendships, or just personal growth, have will be there supporting your sentences. It's like a faithful companion.
I love that. And the more you use it, the more invisible the grammar becomes. You stop thinking about the rules and start focusing on connection and meaning. That's when language really comes alive.
Okay, we've covered a lot today, but it all connects back to one simple idea. Have is a word you'll use every single day in English, like every single day.
Exactly. Have helps you talk about what you earn, what you experience, what you do regularly, and what you need to do. It's in so many parts of your life. It's honestly one of the most important words in the language.
Yes, and it also helps you ask questions, describe feelings, and connect with people. All of these uses might seem like a lot at first, but with time they start to feel natural. Your brain just starts doing it automatically.
That's so true. The grammar rules around have and has are important, but they're also pretty straightforward once you practice them a few times. Remember, I, you, we, they use have, while he, she, it use has. That's it. That's the pattern.
Right, and even if you make a mistake, people will still understand you, and that's what matters most. I've made grammar mistakes plenty of times, and conversations still worked fine. Every conversation is a chance to get a little more comfortable.
Absolutely. And one of the best ways to improve is simply to listen and notice. When you watch a show or listen to someone speak, pay attention to how they use have in different situations. You don't even have to study, just notice.
Yes. You'll start to hear patterns, and those patterns will become part of your instinct. It's like learning a song. At first, you read the lyrics, but eventually you just sing along without thinking.
I love that comparison. And speaking out loud, even to yourself, helps your brain practice the correct forms without pressure. You can talk to your mirror, your pet, your coffee cup. It doesn't matter, just practice.
Yes, talk to your coffee. Okay, but seriously, using have correctly isn't about being perfect. It's about being clear and confident.
Exactly. And you're already on the right path just by paying attention to this topic. You showed up, you listened, you thought about it. That's real progress.
Yes, trust your progress and be patient with yourself. Learning takes time, and that's completely normal. You're doing great.
Small steps lead to big changes. And every sentence you build is proof that you're moving forward. You're not starting from zero, you're building on what you already know.
Okay, I'm curious about something. Think about a moment when you used have in a real conversation recently. Maybe it was in person, over text, or even in your own thoughts. What was the situation? How did it feel?
I love that question. Sometimes the moments we remember most are the small ones, like asking someone, "Do you have a minute?" or saying, "I have a question." These tiny exchanges are where language really lives. They're the building blocks of connection.
Exactly. So here's what I want to ask. Share in the comments one sentence you've used or would like to practice using with have. It could be something simple like, I have a dog, or something more specific to your life like, I have to call my friend tomorrow.
Yes, please share. There are no right or wrong answers. Every sentence is valuable and worth sharing. And reading other people's examples can also give everyone new ideas and inspiration. We learn from each other.
Absolutely. And if you found this conversation helpful, you should definitely subscribe so you don't miss future topics. We'll keep exploring everyday English in a way that feels supportive and approachable. No pressure, just real conversations.
Yes, and comments are always read and appreciated because they help shape what gets covered next. We want to talk about the things that matter to you, the things you're actually curious about.
Exactly. This is a community where everyone is learning and growing together. You're not alone in this. We're all figuring it out, one conversation at a time.
Thank you so much for spending time with us today. It really means a lot.
Yes, thank you. I hope everyone feels a little more confident using have now. And remember, keep practicing and keep showing up for yourself. You're doing amazing.
See you next time. Keep going. You've got this.
Bye, everyone. Take care.